Welcome to the Point 101. I'm your host, Gail, and today we're diving deep into a topic that touches the heart of every parent and guardian: God's promises for our children. Join me. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome all. Welcome. It is Sweet Lips. It is Sledge. And my little brother.
We were trying to vert it around for you.
Yeah. I'll try and get the Sweet Lips out because I know it's Thanksgiving and all y'all just want to.
And you think
that good old kiss from them Sweet Lips.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll be at your home. I got all your notes. I'll be there. Sweet Lips will be there. Ring, ding, ding. It's so Sweet Lips.
He coming for Thanksgiving as if it was Christmas. Down chimneys, through the doors.
There you go.
Sockets. He coming. Yep. He coming. Because he heard that you guys were calling his names. Okay. But no, as I said before, when I send him, you have to send him back. And don't say I sent him. Okay. Look, I want to stay anonymous. Like, girl, I don't even know what happened to him. He was there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey.
But, so, guys, hopefully you guys are enjoying. At least I'm telling you, go, you guys, because I know there's some women there. But hopefully you all, let me just get into a habit of saying you all. Hopefully you all are enjoying this here topic of positive discipline. We are trying new ways. We are tired of these angry children. We tired of getting that person snatched. We tired of this mess. So we're going to help you help them, okay? But we will continue on with positive discipline from A through Z. We're going to keep it positive, okay? You'll thank us later. Now, as promised, we are going to start with replace punishment with information and opportunities to learn from mistakes. There is no place for punishment in positive discipline. Why? There is no place for punishment in positive discipline. Hundreds of research projects have demonstrated that punishment is not the most effective way to teach positive outcomes. Instead, it hurts, it makes others feel bad, and it uses fear as a motivator. It uses fear. Then why would so many parents use punitive or abusive methods? Why? And let me just say before I even read, my thoughts are, it's just something that's been handed down generation. And sometimes we tend to think that if it kept us in line, that we should use it to keep our children in line. But when you really sit back and think about it, really, you hated every minute of it. I know I did. You hated every minute of it. But let's see why they say. Now, they believe it works. Okay. They believe it works and that they are doing something instead of allowing their children to get away with misbehavior. Punishment provides a release for their anger and frustrations. Others use punishment because they are conditioned from past experiences, as I was saying, and lack the knowledge and skills to use different methods. And this is what we are doing. Auntie Sledge and Uncle Sweet Lips, hopefully we will change your parents' mind in how they're parenting this day and time. But, and to the children out there too. Yeah, come on now. We have to listen, even though you're children and, you're learning as you grow. Sometime, as Sweet Lips said, you do have those defiant ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you give back. No. No.
Only if. No. Hey.
You don't give them back. You just keep trying to work with the little boogers. those are the ones that if the people keep on knocking on that door, you better hand them over because you ain't about to disrupt all the people in the house. But but we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to break those generational curses and find other means to communicate. I don't want to say discipline because it's such a harsh word, but to communicate with your children. Okay, so they believe that a spanking or grounding or taking away privileges is the best way for children to learn. They are convinced that children must suffer to learn. And let me tell you something, and that is what Sweet Lips and I are trying to bring the parents away from.
Yeah.
Do not make your child suffer because those are angry children, and those are the ones that's out there looting them stores right now. Okay, those are the ones out there knocking the grannies over, taking their purses and violating them. Those angry children. But to me, I still believe that taking away something, I'd rather take something away that you like than use corporal punishment.
Oh, see, that's that. You already know that's what makes the difference between Sweet Lips and the sister. I like I said, it all depends. I ain't, I always be ready to use the sugar cane anytime I'm ready to use the sugar cane. I mean, hey, Sweet Lips is good. That's how I do. That's how I do.
Right, but depends. I'm saying,
all depends.
You just really, because like if I know that you really enjoy your phone, let me just take your phone away from you. If you continue to break all the rules, I rather take your phone than
I agree with process of elimination. You take things away, and so and to me, honestly, I think, as you would put it, as the system would put it, corporal punishment. I say different. I call it something different, a little backhand, whatever. But before that happens,
that Bebo slide, 2 for 1.
Okay.
Get your brother.
Before that happens, I do believe in other steps. That's the last step ever. And like I said, some parents, it takes forever to even get there. They do go through extreme before they even get there. They're extreme. So that's like last resort. And like I said, again, every child is different. So it all depends on the kid. Some kids, we ain't even got to do all that. Just to talk alone, straighten them out.
But let me just say this though. But when you do come across those ones that like they just don't get it, it's time to drag them into that doctor's office and see what's really going on. Because some children have mental delays that they cannot communicate, like they cannot grasp. I don't care what you try, they just not getting it. And that tells you right there that you need really professional help.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because some kids have, there's so many what do they call it? ADDH,
ADD,
autism. There's so many different labels that's out there now that the children fall under, because sometimes really it's mental illnesses, to me it's hereditary. So and that's why before you really have to put the foo flam on them, go get them checked, so when you get the foo flam flippity bop bop boom, boom boom pow pow, zip zap zoop.
Yeah. It's just a Batman show. Wow, bang, boom, smash. It's like
crack, hammer.
It's like okay.
Before you put all of those into play, and get that professional help to know that, okay, well, maybe I have to handle you just a little bit differently.
Right.
And then get that like some type of therapy going, because a lot of times, man, just taking these kids and throwing them on medication is not the answer either.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Because all of a sudden, when these budget cuts and that medicine is no longer available, or you can't afford it any longer, all the side effects that they miss.
You're right.
So now, many parents use punishment because it gives them a sense of being in control, especially when the punishment temporarily stops the problem. But there lies the problem. It's a temporary fix. It's not a permanent. You're looking for something permanent, not temporary. Now, they don't want to be permissive, and so they think the only alternative is punishment. When these parents step back and take an objective look, they notice that they are punishing for the same behavior over and over. That's true. You're doing the same thing over and over and over. So if you have to keep punishing your child, talking to your child about the same thing over and over, for sure something is not connecting there.
Yeah.
Something is not connecting. That is a pretty good clue that the punishment doesn't work in the long term. If this description fits you, you'll be happy to know that in this book, you can learn many respectful discipline methods that are neither punitive or permissive. Still, other parents use punishment because human nature is to take the path of the least resistance. That is so true. It is almost impossible to break an old habit until you have something new to replace it. And we are giving you something new to replace those old habits. Why do I look dark?
You're fine.
A man would always say, you're fine.
You do? I mean, you do.
Let's see, could be my lighting.
Oh.
Now that's better. Okay.
Look the same to me, but yeah.
Never trust a man's his.
I got good eyesight. You see, I got glasses. I got good eyesight.
Well, I'm your sister, so you're not going to see what the other men. No, I'm sorry. Let's continue where we left off at, and not have sweet lips trying to sidetrack me with some.
No.
Oh my goodness. That is a pretty good clue that the punishment doesn't work in the long term. If this description fits you, you'll be happy to know that in this book, you can learn many respectful discipline methods. Still, other parents use punishment because human nature is to take the path of the least resistance. It's almost impossible to break an old habit until you have something new to replace it. Ever tried to quit smoking or lose weight? She getting persnickety right here and personal. Why she got to bring weight into this? Anyways, so the human mind, hold on. It's easier to start something new than to stop something that are used to and replace it with nothing. Very little constructive learning can be done with anger and the output of negative energy. And that is so true. And that, to me, I think that that's when we start to hit that borderline of being abusive, because now we're trying to parent from a place of anger. And sometimes we allow our anger to get the best of us, and we don't realize it. Because at that moment, you're tired of talking, you're tired of doing this, and you're tired and you're tired and tired. So that step away and take a deep breath, I believe it. I believe in that. So, very little constructive learning can be done with anger and the output of negative energy. When children think you are angry with them, they often behave worse. You know, that's kind of making sense to me now. Because sometimes I just can't, figure out, like, well, if you know that the parent's angry, why would you continue to do it? But then a lot of kids rather have negative attention than no attention at all.
That's true. That's true.
Because now they have your attention that they've been crying out for the longest.
That's true.
And that's even in a relationship. Like, so you cheat on me, I'm mad about it, but I'd rather have you here, so just keep on cheating until I find
It's
somebody
not a
else.
good way to go, but that's true.
You know what I mean? It's just the human nature in us that we must learn how to change.
To human nature, some people. That's why they grow up and then also they get a relationship and they like all that violence. It's like, okay, that I don't think so. Oh, that's when he hit me, he showed me that he loved me. Oh no, he don't. It's like
Yes, that's right. That's right. So true.
Grow up and they
So
look,
true.
all that
So true.
negative violence. They get attention from it.
And taking that aggression and pouring it out. And then you thinking like, I think he just tossed you 6 rooms over and through somebody else's walls and doors. And you assume and equate that with love because as a child, you've been tossed 6 doors over and then come back and say, I did it because I love you. Break these habits right now.
Yeah,
so,
you shouldn't. You shouldn't be being tossed 6 doors over. You should practically be broken up.
Stormtroopers, they be coming back like, he better not do it again. Like, well, how many more doors you think you need to go over? Like, your eyes almost hanging out. And you have some men too. Like, she done scratched a whole new angle to you. So what do you mean? Like, what?
Yep.
And then the child is seeing this. The children are seeing this. So now, very little constructive learning can be done with anger. Okay, let's go on from there. Discipline to be effective needs to be rational and loving, kind and firm at the same time. While it is fine to tell your child you are angry about a particular behavior, it is counterproductive to scream, and a lot of us, that's what we do, scream out of punishment and anger. There's a big difference between the two. Although this book, all through this book, will share many options of ways to replace punishment with respectful learning opportunities. Positive discipline methods focus on teaching children that their behavior affects others and that if they are hurting others, an adult will help them stop. And you know what I want to say? Like, we so bad want to believe that, but when it's all said and done, you would think that an adult would help another child stop whatever they are doing, especially if they're doing it in a negative way that's harmful to others. But then you have some adults that is so screwed up in their head because of their own traumas that they tend to look at that and laugh and use it as a sport.
That's true.
They use it as a sport because I just don't understand how all this bullying is going on in the schoolhouse, church house, your house, and there's no adult there to protect. It's like they pay these teachers what they're worth. Some of them, that's worth it. Not the ones that's just coming to school to waste some time so that they can get their check and grade their papers on Z, all the lower letters instead of upper letters, all the lower numbers, because they're just mad at the world themselves.
Yep.
So they also learned that feeling a certain way about a situation isn't an excuse to avoid dealing with the needs of a situation. And here are examples to consider. Your child spills his juice. Punitive parents will scream, hit, or take the juice away with anger. But you grab a cloth for you and one for your child and say, let's clean it up together. Makes sense. Makes sense. Because a lot you spilled out. Why did you spill that juice? Well, how many times I'll tell you that? And let me tell you, you just have some kids that start to cower.
Yep.
Because they know what's coming next. Zip, zap, zoom, bam, wham, bippity bop.
I agree.
Your child plays too roughly with the dog. Punitive parents scold, argue, nag, threaten, and yell. You separate the two and tell them both. You two can try again later when you're ready to play more gently. Okay, that was kind of had me confused because I'm not talking to no dog about you gonna try again later.
Maybe they mean talk to the child about the dog.
Right. So your child forgets to do a chore. Punitive parents take away a privilege and the chore still remains undone. But you find your child makes eye contact and say, time to do what chore? If your child says later, you say, I'd like to keep no, yeah, I'd like you to keep your agreement. It's time to do the chore. And that's so true. And because look, if we agree that you're going to clean this at such and such a time, when that time comes, I expect it to be clean. So you can't just go and change.
Mm-hmm.
That's giving them the option to abandon anything.
Yep.
So they don't know what to follow through and they don't know how to complete a task. So when they go to school, they're thinking the same thing. But I don't want to do the math test now, I'll do it later. Like what? 0. Your
Right.
child forgets to do a chore. Okay, I did that one. Your toddler hits you. Punitive parents hit back, yell, or threaten. Take your child's hand and gently pat yourself with it, saying, pat, pat, pat. Be gentle. Okay, let me adjust my CD because that just sounds insane to me. I don't know about because now listen to what I said. Your toddler hits you. Punitive parents hit back, yell, or threaten. You take your toddler's hand and gently pat yourself with it, saying, pat, pat, be gentle. No, you don't even need to be gentle. Just stop hitting. Like, wait. No, I'm not going to take my hand and pat myself and say, like, no, that's, we're giving you some tips and some, you know what I mean? Yeah, do what you do. And I'm not saying what you do mean like, hitting and yelling and stuff, but if I'm telling you not to hit, and then I take my hand and hit myself, to me, I'm still telling you it's okay to hit because I'm still hitting. Stop hitting. Hit in the corner now. Now, your child is playing roughly with a toy. Punitive parents use emotional blackmail, saying things like, you're such a baby, you're selfish, you're so clumsy, hoping that the insults will encourage their children to do better. But you take the toy, put it in a safe place, and say, let me know when you're ready to try again and play more gently. If your child says, I'm ready, and continues playing roughly, put the toy away and say, I'll let you know when I'm ready to try again. Perfectly sense. That makes perfectly good sense. If you are sitting over there trying to tear up something that I worked so hard for, let's put it away and let me know when you're ready. I give it back to you and you're still doing it, so I'm going to take it until I'm ready.
I agree.
That makes sense. You'll notice that parents use positive discipline, don't ignore problems. They are actively involved in helping their child learn how to handle situations more appropriately while remaining calm, friendly, and respectful